Have you ever been in a situation where you are passionate about something but people around you have no idea what all the fuss is about? This is how many manga and anime fans in the UK feel. To the average Joe, anime is just a glorified cartoon. Why would an adult prize themselves on watching a children's show? But answer this question. When was it decided that anime was to be classed as just a cartoon, let alone being for children? The definition of a cartoon is a two-dimensional illustrated visual art piece. So yes, at the very basics, it is a cartoon, but at the same time, it's so much more. It is frustrating when someone's perception is totally off, so allow me to rectify this. In this documentary, I would like to take you on a journey through a world of wonder and eradicate the misconceptions behind it. If one person's view on the culture can be changed, then the mission has been accomplished. Let's take a look at the history behind some of the key aspects of the culture. We begin with manga, which is an art style used in Japanese Shonen Jump comic books and anime. The first ever weekly Shonen Jump was released in 1968. An anime is an animated version of the manga art, often based off Shonen Jump comics, sometimes with variations in the storyline. Shonen Jump is translated as either boys comic or young person's comic. Shonen Jump is the weekly manga art comic released in Japan. There are also monthly and yearly shonen magazines, which are manga comics released each month and each year. These also tend to have more volumes, are in colour, have more pages and a higher quality of illustration. When I asked the public about their opinions on cosplay and ComicCon, I received a fairly mixed response. The answer that occurred most common was "I don't know what ComicCon or cosplay are." The second most common was "it's weird, why would anyone want to dress up and look odd?" Events like ComicCon and MCM are majorly important to the industry. They draw in thousands of fans every year, often more than once a year. Many people either did not know they existed, or thought they were strange and could only be for odd people living out a weird fantasy. Comic-Con is more than just a gathering of friends. It really does form new friendships, new bonds, business partners, and even relationships. It is a great chance for the industry to converse with its fans, upfront, hands-on research, while selling products and drawing in even more fan attention. Cosplay is a way for fans to express themselves. Have you ever wanted to get away from everything? Be someone different for a day? It's escapism. Everybody needs to escape. Some people read books and get lost in the stories. Others watch films, create music, make art, and write stories. This is no different. Manga and anime are art pieces telling a story, making you dare to dream, forget reality, and forget gravity. If you're scared and the only person who could get through the struggle is a hero, then become a hero. So have you ever wondered how the fans actually find out about the latest events, animes, and manga? It is courtesy of the anime news sites that distribute information about these events. They are now more or less the middlemen between the industry and the fans, and I'm sure the industry would be at a loss without these news services. I spoke to Anime Pic's news site about the culture and the industry.
Hi, I'm Aisha Ahmed. I'm a writer from Anime Pics. I've been writing there for over a year and I focus on events as well as reviews and games.
Right, so what is your favourite anime or manga?
My favourite anime has to be Sailor Moon. It's quite a retro one. It actually started from manga and then became an anime, and that was probably the start of when it became quite mainstream to have anime on TV. Oh, definitely. I think it's more alive now than it has been for the last few years. It's just, ever since Pokemon came on TV, suddenly anime became a household word, and then now you've got conventions all over the UK. You've got it in London, Midlands, up north, even like Europe, France, and apart from that you've also got meetups, you've got cosplaying, you've got, wow, even like shops, dedicated comic shops that really used to even know what manga was, they now sell it everywhere. Yeah, it's definitely alive. Oh, it's hard to say, because I would say mangas are done by genre, but you'd be surprised. Dragon Ball Z is still going quite strong, and I think if we look at what sells the most, Dragon Ball Z would be the one.
So what would you say the most popular anime was?
Same thing again. But if we look at different genres, if we're talking about fantasy, then definitely Attack of the Titan is a new one that's hit the world by storm. It used to be a manga. I wasn't a big fan, to be honest, but the anime is just a hell of a lot better. But if again you're thinking about gross, like what's actually selling, the most popular would probably be Pokemon Forever. And then if you're looking at new popular anime, then that would be, I've forgotten the name. But if we look at also Bishonen and harem anime, Utei no Prince Summer is quite popular as well. That's easy. That would definitely be Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away. When Studio Ghibli brought that one out, that really hit every audience. It wasn't just people who were into anime, you got kids watching it, adults watching it, and that was also the introduction to a little bit of CGI. You had the beautiful music, and the themes just seemed to appeal, and then they even got awards for it. And then suddenly, that was probably when anime had its peak, when other animes suddenly came out of the woodworks. Yes, basically the editor, Gina, she will look at what the audience likes, and then she'll find whatever is suitable, and obviously it'd have to be age appropriate, but we still even find stuff that's, you know, great for the Moe fans as well. Oh, definitely, I'd say. Well, when you look at the origins from Japan, you know, if you're a die-hard fan of an anime show or a manga or anything, or even when you look at Western society, when they look at their comic book characters, you love it. You dress up as a character from the show, and you parade. Well, it's not just about parading around anymore. Now you actually pick on the personality. So it's not just going on the stage and doing a masquerade. You're also doing an act. You're doing a song. You're doing a dance. You feel like you are the actual character. And these days, like, I will be walking around Leicester Square, I will see Naruto fans walking around in bright orange. I don't know if it's because they're going specifically to Tokyo Toys shop, but a lot of the time, like even at my university, Goldsmiths, we just had people walking around dressed up as Bleach characters just sitting in the field. I think they just did it for fun.
An aspect of the culture that is often forgotten about is the clothing. Yes, you have cosplay, which is great fun and allows self-expression, but there are actually companies that make anime-themed clothes. Uniqlo clothing brand recently launched a line of one-piece clothing, which can be bought at their stores and on their website. Another company that has been making anime-themed clothes is Manga anime-inspired clothing brand. They are currently just an online store, but they have seen a demand in their products. I spoke to Nigel Tumasi, who is the co-founder of Manga, about the culture and the industry.
Hi, I'm Nigel, co-founder of Manga, which is an anime-inspired clothing brand.
Would you say that anime culture is still alive in the UK?
I'd say it's definitely still alive. It's probably not as big as a lot of people want it, but judging from the conventions and things that we've been to, it's still alive. Yeah, I think not as big as the figurines, if I'm honest, figurines or obviously manga books, but it's definitely a part of it. I think it's a long-term benefit because before sharing and streaming online, it wasn't really being shown on like mainstream television. So yeah, and even if it's not very mainstream, it's still around and still being shared and viewed somewhere. In the UK, I would say, I don't know if it's going to be a popular answer, but I'd have to say Pokemon, because there's a point where that took over everything, and I was in that as well, I have to be honest. But yeah, even people that didn't know about anime, they knew about Pokemon, whether it's the cartoons, the cards, the video games. So from what I saw, that had the most impact. So we started the Mind Mad as you see it now in 2011, so about 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, and it was formed from a series of trial and error until we finally kind of got the brand as it is now. Facebook is a big part of that. So initially it was very much friends and family, so spreading the word through Facebook. We then started attending exhibitions like MCM Expo or Hyper Japan, London Anime Con is another one, and that's where sort of the fans are. So that's where we had to be, and to talk to them, tell them about our brand and where they can find out more. So yeah, I think a combination of those two is how we've been able to spread the word.
So far, you know about the history, the key themes and events, as well as how people find out about the anime news and culture's fashion. Now let's talk about almost the biggest part of the industry, the merchandise. To start with, let's look at two franchises within the industry that have a huge range of merchandise. The first is Pokemon. Originally called Pocket Monsters, Viz Media released the manga series but was nowhere near as popular as the anime that aired on Cartoon Network in the UK. The anime series was aired on the 1st of April 1997 via TV Tokyo and has since aired on many other channels. The plot is that there are these creatures called Pokemon that can be trained and looked after. There are various competitions and contests that they can partake in, and different major goals for each trainer. The main character Ash Ketchum wants to become a Pokemon master and tries to do this with the aid of his trusty companion Pikachu. The first Pokemon movie was released in 1998. There are now 15 movies with rumour of a 16th on the way. Wizards of the Coast released a trading card game in 1999. Nintendo has always backed Pokemon, which is why all of their games have been exclusive to Nintendo consoles. Each game has its own style and uniqueness which make them really enjoyable to play. Over the years, the quality of their productions has improved, with now HD graphic Pokemon cards as well as fully 3D worlds on their games. The next is Dragon Ball Z. Created by Akira Toriyama in 1989, the Dragon Ball Z franchise is huge. With an endless amount of games, toys, clothes, manga, anime, phone cases, you name it, Dragon Ball has done it. A really clever aspect about Dragon Ball is that they released a new game every year. Regardless of the fact that it's exactly the same storyline and characters redeveloped, you would still want to play the game over and over. I spoke to Tokyo Toy's manga retail store in London Trocadero about the industry and the culture.
Hi, my name's Jade and I work here at Tokyo Toys.
What is your favourite manga or anime?
My favourite anime would have to be Gurren Lagann. It's one about like robots and fighting. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I'd say it is. I mean, there's lots of big conventions going on in the UK and they draw in thousands of customers, like attendees every year. So yeah, and we get a lot of people come in during weekends and half terms. So yeah, I'd say it's very low. It's kind of hard to say. It's a bit like, you know, piracy in a way. it can hurt the industry in a way that you're not paying for the content that's being released. But in a way, it's a good thing, because you can draw in more fans that way, and the companies will get sales of merchandise and stuff. It was formed about 7-8 yeys ago. It was done by my two bosses, who are brothers. They started the company. At first it was just a little online website that sold like statues and little figurines, and then they got a little warehouse shop in Greenwich and opened that up, and then we moved here to Trocadero, and it's been this way ever since. I'll probably go with Pocky. It's cheap, it's about £1, £1.20, and it's shown in like different anime, so they'll buy it thinking, you know, I'm eating stuff that's been shown in an anime. Yeah, I'll definitely have to say Pocky. It's sold out at the moment, but usually it would be one of the Gundams. It's a perfect grade, Strike Freedom, so it'd be about this size. It's £300, but it looks amazing.
So now you know most of the important information about the industry and the culture, but let's have a quick look at the lesser known themes. OVAs, TBAs, fan service, harem, ecchi and hentai. OVAs are original video animation. These tend to have bigger budgets, better quality animation, and are much longer than normal animes. TBA stands for to be announced, which is usually the statement said when an anime has been cancelled, discontinued, or has no funding. There are anime series left unfinished, but the manga still continues. D. Greyman, Chrome Shelled Regios, Bleach, Kenichi, Deadman Wonderland, and various others. There are such things as harem anime and ecchi or fan service within animes. This is usually done to draw an audience and funding. To the normal person, this means that they put erotic scenes in the shows. For example, a female's bra falling off in a swimming pool. It is done tastefully so that nothing is physically seen, but the idea of nudity is there. Then completely separate there is hentai, which is more or less animated pornography. So there you have it, an accurate viewpoint of anime and manga culture. I would like to end on this last point as an example of someone's perception having been changed. A young woman named Emily said this: "When I first heard about anime, I thought it was uncool and strange. Why would a grown adult be interested in a cartoon? I knew a few people in Maidstone who watched it and others, though it was bizarre. However, since meeting my partner who lives in London and his close friends, I learnt that there was more to it than just a cartoon. Many of them grow up with the series as the series is growing with them, becoming more serious and exciting. So I gave Full Metal Alchemist a watch, and here I am today, series later, an anime and manga art fan myself." In the background were more of Emily's drawings. I hope this experience has been beneficial to you all, and maybe one of you can be that special person whose opinion of the culture I have changed.